This is a video about the CyberSecurity Sensei Incident Response Team. And we will continue on from that, but I wanted to get that out there. We are open to anyone, regardless of age or experience level. You can be a member of the mentorship program. You can be a member of the incident response team, or both. It's totally up to you. There are no fees associated with any of this. The incident response team is designed to help thwart the bad guys, but also to give everyone the ability to earn resume experience credit that you can put on your resumes to help strengthen your professional resumes in the cybersecurity incident response area. So I'm going to do this little presentation about, I call it the anatomy of a CS-Sensei incident. I've asked numerous people about the incident response team, and I was actually challenged by this gentleman, senior penetration tester with his CISSP and a master's in cybersecurity, and he said, I don't quite understand what you think you're doing here. And I'm like, fair enough. Come take a look. And I demonstrated to him the process. I demonstrated to him the tools. I demonstrated to him the reporting format and the monthly certificates of participation. And by the time I was all done, this is what he had to say about it. He said, it's a difficult area to get experience unless you're working in that particular career field. And so how do you get experience if you don't get the job? How do you get the job without experience, etc.? So I set this up specifically so that you can, on a volunteer part-time basis, still get incident response analyst experience. And like this senior penetration tester from KPMG said, he said, I like what you've put together in order to help people gain some good volunteer experience. Admittedly, it's volunteer, but it is experience. So I wanted to share about that. Now, we've had a previous video where I went through and talked about the why people would want to be part of this. And in the end, I pointed out all of the positive things that you do by being an incident response analyst with CS-Sensei. Because, among other things, you're reporting emails and text messages that made it through the filters. In other words, the filter was designed to examine and stop the message that you received or your mom received or whatever. And therefore, those are called false negatives, and that qualifies them by definition to be called incidents. Now, of course, people may not click on it. We, being in the career field, are far less likely to click on it and cause an actual, incident that ends up in people losing their life savings. But that doesn't reduce the fact that these are indeed incidents. So in this other video, I talked about why you would want to do it. Now this video is talking about how we do it. And I'm going to use a couple examples that are straight from my inbox. So I wanted to step through this. First thing, the emails arrived, and oh, by the way, I can't read them. So the first thing you think of is, oh, we'll just delete it. No, let's go through the steps. I'm going to show this on the screen so that you guys can see this. And I've shared this on our forums. I've been getting a lot of these, and I didn't know what to do with them. So what I did was I would open the email, and it's like gobbledygook. No idea what that is. So I go to translate.google.com. Now I'll go back to the message and copy the message. Go into translate.google.com and paste the message. And Google Translate grabs it and says, oh, it's in Japanese. I didn't know. And it says, delivery schedule notification. Your package has been prepared and is ready for delivery. Sound familiar? It certainly is. And it says shipped from Amazon Delivery Service. That means that someone is impersonating Amazon. with this email in Japanese. Okay, so as we're looking at it, let's go back to this slide deck. I took a look at it using translate.google.com, and I determined that it's a fraudulent Amazon email because it did not come from Amazon.co or Amazon.jp or whatever. It came from some weird mailing address that had nothing to do with Amazon. So I made the determination after analysis that it's a fraudulent Amazon email, and it did not come from Amazon. So number one, it's against the law to impersonate a company like Amazon. So the crime has been committed. Even if nobody clicks on it, the crime was committed because they are impersonating Amazon. So I'm going to report it to Amazon. I'm going to report it to the Anti-Phishing Working Group. And then this is something that I've recently agreed to. When you report it as spam or phishing or junk, you have reported it to your local email system. That is a report. Okay? That is a report. It is the simplest of reports, but it is indeed a report. Because when you report it to your local mail provider, it's used to perfect their filters. So that qualifies it as an incident. So I'm going to end up with 3 incidents for this one email. I hope everybody understands that. Does that make sense? Any questions so far? Okay.
No.
So, all right. I appreciate that. So here I am with the email, and it says it's from Amazon, you know, and oh, by the way, they even have a tracking number. In some of the cases that I've seen, they even put a phone number. And, you know, I took a look at those phone numbers as well and verified they aren't Amazon, and they're frequently used for phishing attempts. Further validation that it is indeed something that needs to be reported. And oh, by the way, because it made it to me, it was successfully delivered. The mail filters did not discriminate on it. So I'll go back to the email and, oops, this email. And I've got this one and this one. And oh, by the way, they're the same. I mean, they're very similar. I could drop this one into Google Translate, and it says delivery schedule notification, Amazon delivery service, looks almost identical to the previous one. Now, I don't read kanji, so I don't care. But these are both Amazon fraudulent emails. So my email system is called Roundcube, and it's a freeware open source mailing system, but I'm allowed to highlight both of these at the same time, and then I'm going to select forward as attachment, and then report phishing at apwg.org, and report a scam at Amazon. And if you guys remember, this is the reporting methods form that our team put together that says these are all of the companies and organizations and entities out there that want you to inform them when something arrives that you didn't want or you believe was fraudulent or malicious. They're asking you to tell them, including Amazon. So, you know, don't think that you're being a pest. You are assisting them in improving their services, so things like this won't arrive in your inbox and, you know, thousands or hundreds of thousands of other people's inboxes. You are doing a positive service here. All right? Don't think that you're being a pest. It is not the case. So here I have, and this came to, you know, my new song address. I don't want to put all of my signature block in there. I really don't care. I don't want to proliferate my signature block. But I did say it's 2 attachments. So there are the 2 attachments. I'm report phishing at the APWG and report a scam at Amazon. That's 2 messages sent to 2 different providers that have asked to receive that. That's a total of 4 incidents. All right. I hope you're catching on. So here I'm going to say send, and I did send it as attachment. When you send as attachment, more of the message header is included than when you just forward. So most of these folks do ask that you forward as attachment if possible. So I have done that part, and now I'm going to highlight these 2, and I'm going to go up here. For this one, there's no report as spam or report as phishing. I read the instructions for Roundcube, and it says move it to junk. And when you do, their mail filters will receive it, and their mail filters will tune themselves based on your reporting of this junk. It's automatic, and it's for anybody that uses Roundcube webmail. So, okay, great, fine. That means I have done 2 to the anti-phishing working group, I've done 2 to Amazon, and I've done 2 to ReportCube, my email service provider. So that means I have done 6 incidents. 6 incidents. Count it up. This is how it works. You see a lot of people that say, oh, well, I'm embellishing. No, count it up. This is not embellishment, and it's not trying to, duplicate the things. You're reporting this one message to this person and this person and this person. That's 3. Don't sell yourself short. Oh, it's just 2 messages. But it went to 3 different groups times 2, that's 6. So it says put in your name, and I'm gonna skip on my email address so it doesn't show up to the internet. Date you participated, I can say today. Now this is total time you spent on this. So it could be the time you learned how to use the webmail. It could learned how, you read that reporting methods and saw who you're supposed to report to if they say they're Amazon. All of that counts as your total time. Then you received it. Then you analyzed it through Google Translate or whatever tool you use. Then you decided to make the decision to report it. Then you went through the report process, and you put the time that you're logging it here as part of your total time. So that all adds up. There were a total of, I'd say 6. I'm going to say I took 15 minutes total. That is not an unreasonable amount of time to claim that I spent learning and analyzing and making the decision and doing the reports and then logging the reports in this form. And then it says, how many did you do? I did 6. And when you submit, it goes to our incident response team webmail form. And if you notice, I was sharing this earlier, I've had a pretty busy month. You notice that mostly because of those Japanese emails I keep getting saying, hey, your package is about to be delivered to your home in Japan. I report them all. And they end up getting triple reported. 1 to the anti-phishing working group, 1 to Amazon itself, and 1 to my mail filter provider. So I get 3 for every time I get 1 that arrives in my inbox. So it all adds up. And then at the end of the month, I'm going to go back to the slide presentation. At the end of the month, like it says, so I logged 3 incidents in the report form, but because it was 2 emails, it's a total of 6 incidents. Number 6, rinse and repeat. Do it over and over and over again. And then at the end of the month, what the incident response team does, we review and summarize each analyst's participation. We identify that you are a participant. We count up who has been, for example, for our mentees, whichever mentee submits the most reports for that month, they'll receive a certificate called Top Incident Response Analyst for the month. So for your experience on your resume, you can say, not only did I participate, but I received a certificate for Top Incident Response Analyst for this month. It looks good on your resume, and you performed better than any of the other mentees during that month. Now, mentors, you don't get Top Incident Response Analyst. Sorry, this is for the mentees, because they're the ones that are trying to build their experience. And so you go on, we prepare certificates, and then we distribute them to everybody. And this is what they look like. You get your certificate of participation. If you were the top incident response analyst, you get that. And again, it is, I said teammate, okay, mentor or mentee. I was about to say it's just mentees, but whoever. And if there's a tie, you both get it. All right? So if for some reason you both end up with 142 reports that month, you'll both get the certificate. Then I beat my mentors award for any participant that exceeds any mentee or mentor. Well, if you saw the numbers, I've done 77 this month. So nobody's going to get that certificate. Why? Because my mailbox has been hopping, and I report everything that arrives. Everything. Text messages, if you get a text message that you know is one that you don't want, looks like it's fraudulent, etc., you can report it as spam, or you can forward it to 7726, which spells out spam on your keyboard. So 7726, forward it to spam, and then put it into the log form as I did a report. Even a text message qualifies. And then down at the very bottom, I've only given this out once or twice. If you do more incidents in 1 month than anyone else in the history of the program, I will give you a record breaker certificate. If you do more incidents than any one analyst in a month, I will also give you the record breaker. So that is only for those people that literally are the excellence within this program. Not just on a month-to-month basis, but you went far and away above and literally set the bar higher for the entire team. So anybody that does that, you'll get a record breaker award. Now, this is what it looks like. The results of what you've done, this is what it looks like on your resume. The resume on the left is somebody who's gone through a degree program maybe. They've gone out and gotten 1 or 2 certifications, but they lack experience that they can report. Oh, well, I'm trying to get into the cybersecurity career field. Fully understood. There are thousands of people that their resumes look like this. What experience, relevant experience do you have? Well, I've done a capture the flag, or I participated in, this hack the box, or those sorts of things. But those are all using synthetic data, and therefore they are like exercises. This incident response team uses real, live, bona fide incidents. You are helping Yahoo or Amazon or Google or whoever improve their services, decrease the incidence of these occurring in everybody's mailboxes worldwide. And because you're reporting to the Anti-Phishing Working Group and possibly the Federal Trade Commission, that was one I didn't do, but you can, you're increasing the evidence that's used to prosecute these criminals. So you're doing this as a volunteer. You're doing this on a part-time basis, but it is still more effective than all of those capture the flags, than all of those hack the boxes. You're doing something today that's trying to make this world a better place. Hope you understand that. And this is what it looks like on your resume. some people may say, well, it's just spam. Yes, it is. And you're helping to reduce spam worldwide. Why would you not want to do this? And I had this question, and I'm going to give you an example because I know this occurred in my mailbox. I see it here. I go up and I take a look at my mail, and it says, hey, it's undelivered. It got undelivered to Amazon and the APWG. Why? Because it was classified. Let me see if I can spin this up so you can see it a little better. It was classified as spam. So the incoming message filters didn't catch it. But then when I attempted to send it out, it said, I'm not going to forward that. It's spam. So my mail filters caught it. So the question is, if your mail filters catch it and they say, we can't forward this because it's spam, do I get credit? And the answer is yes. You filed the report by sending the message. If it didn't reach somebody, that's mechanics. That's the mechanics of the report system. Hopefully, I can help them tune their RSpam filters on the host PMA system that is hosting Roundcube to where my outgoing messages will not be flagged as spam. And I can report them to these various agencies. Again, you are helping to make everything better by participating in the incident response team. Okay, so the answer is yes, you still claim it even though it bounced. And I'm going to finish up with this quote from Nicole Nietzsche, who teaches at the Met Professional Academy in Peoria, Arizona. She and her students participate in the incident response team routinely. And it's, like she said, it follows the NIST framework. It is an actual documented process, and it helps people get relevant work experience that they can put on their resumes. And that's all I had. I'm going to stop my share. Any questions? Any comments on this? What do you guys think? Does this work?
Oh yeah, definitely works. Yeah, I mean, I have been receiving those scam emails every day and phone calls and text messages. So I think like doing this like will definitely reduce um, those scams.
Yeah, and they're increasing. You know,
Yep.
so how do, if you just delete it, you have done nothing to discourage the bad actors from doing it again 100 times worse. They have no disincentive to do it. So you provide that disincentive, that discouragement. You report them, the mail filters start blocking them. The evidence builders like the Federal Trade Commission get more evidence against them that hopefully someday somebody's going to take them into court and get them indicted. Even if they're in a foreign country, they can be indicted. And it's possible that they could end up getting convicted even if they're in foreign countries. I've seen it happen. So we need to feed that process. And this is how we do it. It may sound simple, but it's designed to be simple. It's as streamlined as I can possibly make it, and it is true incident response analyst experience. So I hope everybody enjoyed this. I had fun putting it together. I always do. So we will talk to you guys around the campus.